What's up, crew? Dr. Kashey here to reinforce to you that everybody knows calories don't count at 30,000 feet, or in hotels, or on the beach, or when you're sick. Airplane calories definitely don't count. Daiquiri calories on the beach don't count either. I don't even know what a daiquiri is. It just felt appropriate to say. Calories definitely don't count on vacation, especially cruises. Definitely not cruises. It's kind of like what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, except it's anywhere that may not be Vegas and has to do with food, travel, holidays, vacations. They're all a great reason to celebrate, just to basically throw all of your boundaries and rules out the window, at least in regard to your lifestyle choices. After all, the whole point of vacation is to let loose and disconnect. And so, when vacations end up happening and the decisions have to be made, a sense of entitlement kind of creeps up. Like, well, I'm on vacation. I deserve all this stuff. It's a common mindset in situations like this. If you reflect a little bit and dig deep, does it really feel good to consume like that? To be a consumer? Did the good feeling last? There's no wrong answer. Did you feel good after you did it? Did you feel worse or guilty or shameful? How do you feel physically when that happens? Do you get sluggish, like a bump on a log? Do you get more self-conscious if you're on vacation and have to swap clothes out that are a little more revealing or form-fitted? It's reasonable to really make a laundry list. What are the advantages of doing these things? Because there will be advantages of letting loose like the way you're thinking. And what do you come up with? What are the advantages of doing it? There might be advantages or disadvantages of various aspects, as in, what are the advantages of staying on plan versus the disadvantages of staying on plan? What are the advantages of letting loose and losing complete control of your behavior? And what are the disadvantages of letting loose and not controlling your behavior? These aren't loaded questions. I'm totally serious. I want to know. When this is all tallied up, what sorts of results do you get? And when you compile the list of advantages and disadvantages side by side, the pros and cons or whatever word you want to choose, and you get that visceral feeling in your belly, this is what you want to write down. What is a visceral feeling you get? When you realize the advantages or disadvantages of doing something that you think you want to do, summarize those feelings and use that as an opportunity to have a conversation with yourself about the next time you're confronted in a situation like that. And then strategize what you would use when. Really, force yourself to make a decision one way or the other. What becomes clear when you write down that summary? Did you feel stressed when you're on plan, or more stressed when you're not? And when does that stress manifest itself, before or after? If you do fly off the handle, how does that affect your vacation as a whole? Does it make your vacation better when you lose control, or does it make your vacation worse when you lose control? If you feel better when you stay in control, then what are some of the things that make you feel better? Do you feel better physically? Are you less conscious about the things you wear? Can you participate in more activities because you don't feel sluggish? You don't have to worry about trying to make up for lost time when you get back, as if that's even possible. Your summary wants to be able to reinforce conclusions that you come to one way or another, just that you're able to have the conversation with yourself when you're confronted with another scenario where you think you must, make a decision at a fork in the road. You can further reinforce this exercise by taking a piece of paper, jotting down the question, how do I want to feel when my vacation is over? When I get back from traveling? When you get that verbiage down and you decide how you want to feel when your travel time is over, you can work backwards from that answer to determine what you need to do to get there, because there will be quite a long thinking time. Your vacation and travel isn't officially over until you get home, and there will be a limbo period on the way home, either during a road trip in the car or on a plane ride, where all the decisions you made during your vacation or travel will start to sink in. And how do you want to feel when you reflect back on those decisions? When you think about those decisions, what are you going to feel? Do you currently think of a vacation or travel as an excuse to not give a damn about anything? And if so, are you able to reconcile that you might be bringing back some souvenirs from that vacation that you may not have wanted? Are there some positive outcomes that you can think of in terms of vacation? What are those? How did you get there? So you want to start a couple of lists, right? What are the pros and cons, advantages, disadvantages of staying on your plan or on track? Or what are the disadvantages of staying on track when you're going through this process? You'll need to be consistent in how you feel physically and cognizant of those things. When your habits and schedule get thrown out the window, how do you feel physically? Are there some foods that you only allow yourself to eat when you're at a certain place? If so, it might be best to eat those foods more frequently to vaccinate yourself when you're exposed to them again. Super effective method.
100%.
Sit and really consider how you want to feel when you walk through the door to your home when you're done traveling. Will you be glad you behaved the way you did, or irritated you behaved the way you did, or guilted or ashamed? Will you do anything to try and forget it, or sweep it under the rug, or think that you can make up for it? Another great opportunity to sit and write down exactly how much time and energy you think you would need to expend to get back to where you were before you went. Is it possible to ruin weeks or months of progress in a few days? And is that worth it? If so, great. If not so, that's great too. You can always remember that there are other options, and there are options that will work for you. So when you're on your way back home, either on the plane or in the car, and the feeling that you get for the decisions that you made starts to creep up, do you want to feel good about them, or do you want to feel poorly about them? So to summarize, ask yourself if throwing out all your boundaries and structure is going to make your vacation or travel better. If the answer is yes, fantastic. But accept the fact you may not be where you want to be when you return. Ask yourself if keeping structure on vacation will really have that much of an impact on your enjoyment. Think of the feeling you will have when you return from vacation, knowing you can pick up exactly where you left off. It's pretty great, right?